Hello and welcome to Just Us Thinking. I'm your host, Michael.
And I'm your co-host, Rebecca.
And I'm your AV guy, Mikey.
And we're going to have another Mini-Sode. Is that what we're calling? I don't know what I'm saying.
We are calling them Mini-Sodes.
But it's a video show. See,
Yeah.
We're on camera. It's camera right there.
I know.
Okay.
I see it.
All right. So it's a video show that's also called a Mini-Sode.
Yes, it is.
Now we've had some of these that weren't so mini. I'll be sorry about that.
Yeah. Michael likes to talk, if you haven't noticed.
No, my problem is like when we have like, and we talk about it, we kind of write down our what we're going to talk about. It seems like the more stuff we have on this, the show goes, right around 15, 20 minutes.
Yeah.
But the less things we have written on this, the longer they go. And it's starting to frustrate me there too. So,
Okay.
This show is going to be about sex dolls and brothels.
Yeah, it is. We're giving you something interesting to talk about. Sure.
Are you tongue-tied on this one?
Yeah.
Are you?
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think about the subject?
I don't know. I was Googling some stuff just for the heck of it, and I was surprised to find out that, I mean, obviously it's not as popular here in the U.S., but I guess it's more popular over in European countries and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. What do you say Germany has now we're talking like sex dolls and brothels. We're going to get to sex dolls. Don't get me wrong, but some of the brothels here in the U.S., it's legal in Nevada.
Yep, only in Nevada.
That doesn't mean that these makeshift brothels or illegal brothels exist.
Okay.
They do.
Yeah.
You go to the right massage parlor and you might you might get a happy ending.
Yep, that's a running joke with everybody, I guess. So
right.
yeah.
Now, where you said in Germany they have one of the largest brothels?
Yeah, it was in Cologne, Germany.
Okay.
It was 12 stories.
12-story brothel in Germany.
Yeah. And I think it said it had 80 support workers.
80 support workers. What is a support? Do I want to know what a support worker is in a brothel?
The only thing I could think of is somebody who checks you in, takes your money.
The towel guy.
Assigns you a room. I don't know. And I guess they get over 1,000 customers a day.
Germany, 1,000 customers a day at holy cow. Now we were looking at the list and there's a lot of countries where brothels are legal. Yeah. There's also a lot of countries where prostitution is legal. Brothels are not.
But with I guess there's a bunch of different stipulations. Different countries have different stipulations. They have the different, I guess, rules.
Different rules, different regulations.
Yeah.
It's it's kind of crazy that that still happens. So
yeah.
Now let's go right into sex dolls.
Okay.
So with sex dolls, they are, oh my goodness, the amount of stuff going in with sex dolls nowadays are through the roof.
Okay. I don't personally know, but all right.
The technology there is going crazy.
Okay.
So
how is it going crazy?
it is, well, anybody who's seen any kind of there's jokes about the blow up dolls and stuff that, right? I mean,
yeah. Okay.
Now these sex dolls, they're the level of engineering that are going into it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So you have these sex dolls that they have motors in them. Okay, do you know that?
No.
So they have,
Wouldn't you kind of be scared that something would go wrong with the motor or something? Malfunctions or
right.
Spontaneously combust or something? That would kind of freak me out a little bit. I mean, wouldn't you worry about that?
We hear about cell phones being under a pillow and catching fire. Why is your closet on fire? Oh, I think my sex doll caught fire again.
Right?
I don't know. you're right. I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay.
No, there's like, I guess massaging motors in there, you know,
Still,
pulsating,
what if they
vibrating.
malfunction?
Well, that's true. The silicone, the skin on those,
Yeah.
it's starting to feel very realistic.
Okay.
They're starting to learn not to make that plasticky feel.
Oh, okay.
Some of them are starting to, I mean, that silicone is starting to really, really start to play.
Okay.
Now, they're also getting to the point where they could move, they can, you know, blink, they could talk to you now.
Okay. Well, yeah, I was thinking that one movie that we watched.
You gotta be more specific. We watched a lot of movies.
I know they had the AI like robots and stuff.
Megan. Are you talking about Megan?
Well, there was that one too.
Megan was a girl. That was for another show we did.
That was the creepy one. But yeah, okay.
No, we're talking about like sex dolls, not Megan.
Okay.
You know,
You're talking about AI, artificial intelligence, where they had all the sex robots.
Right.
And he would like go in there and he got it. You know, the person was killed. His client was killed.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, that was a movie?
Yeah, AI, artificial intelligence. It's an old movie.
Yeah.
Oh, well then, yeah, okay.
When did that come out? Like 80s, in the 80s or something?
Oh, didn't have the kid from it in there that was like, I see dead people?
Yeah.
He was young. He was
totally young.
Kid in that show.
Oh my God. That was creepy.
I'm not that old.
That was so creepy.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing is, you know, we look back at that movie and we're like, yeah, that was the premise of some of those robots there.
Yeah.
And here we are talking about it now, many, many years later, where they're actually trying to make, you know, moving, talking robots. Now, a lot of people are like, you know, these are going to be, you know, they talk to you. You can have a conversation with them. There's now phones, like AI on the phone. Now, they're not necessarily a sex doll.
Yeah.
But there is there's like these ones on the phone where you could have an AI girlfriend on your phone or an AI boyfriend on your phone. You plug it, you pull up the app, and you could have intimate conversations with this. And then if you have to jerk one off or something like that, or, you know, do self-stimulate while you're talking to your AI person. I mean, I hate to say it, but that people like, oh, that's weird. I couldn't do that. Anybody that's watched porn and, you know. Yeah,
that's true.
There's a reason why hotels, you know, when you watch porn in a hotel, it's for like 5 minutes and then, you know, well, we know what they were doing.
Yeah.
But that's the thing is the sex dolls and then the AI aspect, once those two get combined into one, what's going to happen? What happens when I have a doll, a doll that I could have sex with that could also cook, clean, and do laundry?
There you go. That brings me back to the Big Bang Theory, the one episode.
Which one?
Where what's his name got his.
Wolowitz got his pickle stuck in the
in the hand
jar. Yep.
See, malfunction.
All they did was reboot the system.
Yeah. Like really.
I will tell you, it's. I mean. Yeah. You say that's a problem, but if you date the wrong girl, you get a Lorena Bobbitt.
Well, that's true too.
So that's a malfunction there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
That's one malfunction I don't want.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
I will tell you, you can program the sex doll not to cheat on you.
Yeah.
You get it whenever you're in the mood. And then when you're done with them, you just put them away.
Okay.
Or turn them off. Or
yeah.
I will say, I'm not looking forward to any time period where these sex dolls will start replacing normal relationships.
Yeah, I just don't get why people would want that. Like,
well, a lot less drama.
Well, that's Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Right? I mean, with a relationship,
you don't have to deal with crazy exes.
Crazy exes. Yeah, you're. Well, I hope not. Eventually, if these sex dolls start to go too crazy, you might have a crazy sex doll stalker. I don't know.
Well, I thought you said you could just turn it off.
But
Malfunction. Let's hope it doesn't malfunction.
I hope not, but I don't know. I think I want to say it gets kind of that water will get kind of muddy there when there's a lot of people now that, I mean, look at the world, look at where we're going, look what the climate was. There was a time where all of us had to go to work in an office.
Yeah.
Okay. We had to leave our houses to go to work. Now look at where we're at. We don't have to leave our houses. Here's the thing. I need to go grocery shopping. I could actually pull up an app, and if I don't want to drive there are delivery services.
Right.
DoorDash and all these other ones, they deliver that stuff. Okay.
Yeah. And I mean,
not just food.
Well, like Walmart has their own delivery drivers too. So yeah.
So you got to understand that you're getting to the point where you don't have to communicate with anybody. You can just sit in your house.
Yeah.
How far along is that to go into just having, you know what, I'm in the mood. I'm going to pull out I'm going to turn on the sex doll and she's going to come talk dirty to me. She's going to say whatever the hell I want. Mm-hmm. Or he's going to do whatever I want.
Yeah.
They're programmable.
People are crazy.
People aren't programmable. Well, people are programmable, but they're not programmable the way we want them to be programmable.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, domestic violence will go down quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's only upside to this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's just kind of the way it is. But
well, then there'll be like some kind of like robot uprising and all that,
Yeah. Now,
just like some crazy movie they come out with.
So here's my question now too, is what happens when now brothels are illegal in most states here, right?
Right.
That means you can't have sex with another person for money.
Okay.
So,
well, that's technically prostitution.
Brothels are a home for prostitution, basically.
Yeah.
Prostitution and brothels are very, very similar. Prostitution is an individual selling themselves. Okay. A brothel is a organization selling sex.
Right.
Now, most of these brothels are women, but there are a few that are men brothels. They do exist. Okay. And we're, that's kind of, when you look at the numbers, when you talk about brothels and stuff like that, or prostitution, most of the time, like 75 to 90% of the time, you're talking about females that are providing the services. Yeah. That's not the case. Okay.
Well, yeah, it needs to be equal opportunity, right?
Yeah. Let's get the EOC involved in this.
Yeah.
Now, what happens when, technically having sex with another person is prostitution, and if we do it as an organization, it's a brothel. But if we have these sex dolls, and I will tell you, they're getting to the point where, like, you can do your business with them, and then to clean them, you just pop out the piece that you basically had pleasure with. Yeah. Rinse it off, clean it off, sterilize it, and you and do it. Yeah. They have these. They literally have like these little boxes that like you could put your phone to sterilize.
Yeah.
They have them for these sex toys too.
Okay.
They actually exist. Look them up. Go for it. So what happens when sex dolls are? What's to stop someone to say, yeah, I have all these machines. They're not people.
Yeah.
People could come in there and pleasure themselves. We'll clean up and we'll get those taken care of. Technically, they're not a brothel anymore because there's no people involved anymore.
That's a good point.
And what happens when they're animatronic and they could walk around and talk to you and
Yeah, that's just creepy.
It's
sorry.
It's creepy, but it's also kind of the way the world can go now.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the Megan thing, that movie was just creepy, and it wasn't even.
Yeah. See, and here's the thing: people think It's replacing normal relationships.
Yeah.
It's not all about sex. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, right now you download a boyfriend girlfriend AI, and they'll ask you questions. They're programmed to ask you, "How was your day?" They are programmed to listen to you.
Wow.
You can say, "I really had a hard day." Then it remembers. It says, and it'll say, because you could say, "Oh yeah, I had a hard day. It was a bad day." 3 days later, you're like, "Yeah, I don't know, it wasn't that bad. Wasn't as bad as Monday, was it?" And you're like, "Wait a minute." She remembers.
Creepy.
Right. You and I think it's creepy, but for someone that's lonely, that doesn't get out, that doesn't like the social interaction, that could be their release. That's their, it's comforting.
Yeah.
So
they don't go out and actually, I guess, hurt somebody.
Well,
Well,
so they don't go hurt somebody, but it's also, we talk about as a mental health, it's a lot of times just relieving stress.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, sex is a stress reliever.
Right.
Okay. There's no doubt about that. And then even sometimes just talking about it gets that stress. That's why people go see a therapist.
Okay.
I will tell you, these AI girlfriend boyfriends, in a way, they're kind of a therapist to a certain point. So you can see we think it's creepy because you're adding the sex part to it.
Yeah. Well, and I just think talking to I guess I'm probably more
You're old school like me.
Yeah.
You want a person.
I want the face-to-face person.
Right.
I don't want to talk to some machine or talk to my phone.
But you'd rather order on DoorDash and just have someone drop food off at the door. You don't want to go deal with a person in the drive-through anymore.
It's not more that. It's more of a convenience factor.
This is more of a convenience factor, too.
Yeah.
I have an itch that needs to be scratched.
Okay.
And then I'm going to find a way to scratch that itch.
Okay.
I hate to say it that way, but that's kind of what it is.
Mm.
And I don't know. I'm not looking forward to where this is going to go in the future.
Yeah. No, it's a scary thought to see how.
So my question is, sex dolls in brothels, would that be legal? Or I believe, and I'm not 100% sure, I think states are already anticipating this and already getting laws on the books for these. Do you know that?
No.
That's how scary this is, because when the politicians start saying, we got to get ahead of this, I'm scared. Because those guys don't get ahead of anything.
Right. That's true.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's been a while. You need that. You have that craving. You have that itch. Would you go to a brothel? Their equipment's sterilized. Everything's sterilized. You get, you get your own, everything's cleaned up. Everything's nice, and it's no different than, going into a hospital and reusing stuff that they use all the time.
Yeah.
As long as it's sterilized, cleaned, and it's, in good working order.
Yeah.
You get that itch. Would you go to one if you weren't married? If you were a single girl and you're like, you know what? I don't want to deal with a guy. I don't want the relationship trouble. I just need to get a little bit of release. Would you go?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Is it the stigmata of what it is, or?
I don't know.
Okay.
I just don't think that would be something I would be like, oh, let's go do that.
See, and that's the thing is, when you talk about it,
yeah,
everybody's gonna say, no, that's a horrible idea. And they immediately Google, is there one opening up in my area? Confidentiality is what changes that deal.
Oh.
If you can get away with it and nobody knew you did it, would you scratch that itch? And I have to say, the reality is going to be yes for both men and women.
Yeah.
Because I'm just going to get mine. I don't have to worry
done
about
and go home. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
I don't have to go on to a date and maybe the guy doesn't perform, and then it's like 2 minutes of wasted time. I've got to fake it real quick so he gets it off me, and then I'm going to get out my toy after he leaves and finish myself off.
Okay.
I mean, women, now you tell me. That happens more with women than guys,
Yeah.
I think. So I'm not going to ask you. I was going to ask you, have you ever faked it with a guy? But I changed my mind real quick on that. There's been certain situations where you got yourself into and you're like, I don't really want to be here anymore. And if you're in the middle of the act, that's a problem. So I don't know. I think going this route is going to be a problem.
Yeah, I can see it being a problem, yeah.
And I mean, sex dolls, the advancements, turning them into, I don't know, can you imagine that Germany hotel? Here's the thing. Here's the problem.
Oh, I wonder if they have them like different languages too over there.
Well, they could. They could. Can you imagine like having us that now, it costs money for that brothel to run because they had to pay the girls, right?
Yeah.
But if they were all sex dolls,
they wouldn't have to.
You cut your costs.
Yeah.
You have your upfront costs.
Like those probably the 80 support workers. Like you got human resources, payroll,
right?
Benefits.
Yeah. There. We don't need an HR department if there's no HR people here, people here.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
You could do all automation.
Yeah.
Robots can clean themselves.
They're walking and all around. That good stuff, yeah.
Yeah. They can walk themselves in, clean themselves up, walk themselves into into a whatever that. Instead of it being like a little small box, it's like a room that they walk in with the sterilization lights and all that stuff, and hose them down really good, clean them all done, and
like one of those airtight things you see in the movies.
Yeah, yeah.
When they
a new one comes out, the plastic gets ripped off of it, and you're like, oh, this is a new one to go. Next customer, please.
Wow.
It's scary, right?
Yeah, that is kind of scary.
Not where we were going to go on this, was it? You weren't sure?
No.
Well, if you do like our content, if you like what we say, like what we do, you could always like us on Facebook. Make sure you follow us. You could also do that on Instagram and X.
Yep, and then you can listen to us on any of the major podcast players, like iHeart, Spotify, Apple, Samsung, and YouTube Music.
Yep, and YouTube Music has replaced Google Podcasts. Yep. Now you'd also watch our videos on YouTube. We're also on Rumble to watch our videos there. You could also listen on those platforms as well.
Exactly.
And then TikTok, while that one's still up and rating, if it still continues we have no clue. So
yep.
That's a good show. I think that went pretty good. Now I know we're gonna switch over to Mikey here. So Mikey.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the reaction I wanted out of him.
My brain is broken.
Good. Then we did our job.
I'm broke. I'm done.
All right. Well, I think that's a good show. What do you think?
I think that was a pretty good show.
All right, let's end it there then.
All right, bye everybody.